Dan just left on a 1-week trip to Kailaun. This is what we do while he's gone. Starting off the morning with doing some laundry. I did all of his laundry before he left, so now I'm catching up on mine and the girls' laundry. So Dan has taken a few of these week-long trips now, and so we've kind of gotten into a little bit of a routine when he's away. Day one, I typically try to fill up with as many chores and cleaning as possible, kind of keep my mind off of him being on the road, and we take it day by day from there. So one of the things that becomes painfully obvious when Dan is out of town is all that he does around the house. Thankfully, he's able to do a lot of things before he leaves that makes it easier, but there are some things and some chores that fall to me when he's gone. One of those is closing all of the windows before going to bed, so that if it rains in the night, rain does not come in the house. Locking all of the doors and closing the store and locking the store. Another of those things is filling up our Berkey with water, which is something that we both kind of do, but it falls completely to me when Dan is out of town. And then another one of those things is setting up and taking down for worship services and Bible studies that we have here at our house. During the rainy season, the Christians have asked if they could use our house to meet because we don't currently have a building where we are meeting. We're in the process of building one. So during the rainy season, the Christians meet here. So every Sunday and Wednesday, Dan typically cleans and sets up our breezeway for the Christians to meet. So you might be wondering, what are some of the hard things about Dan being gone? I know some of this video has been some smiles and regular life, but it's also some challenges when Dan is gone, and that's not just taking over chores. I think probably the biggest challenge for me is being on 24/7 duty with the kids, and not just the energy that goes into that, but primarily just making sure that I am on top of being gentle, consistent, patient, and loving with them when I am solo parenting for a week. So what that looks like is, I think sometimes by the end of the day, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. I've been parenting all day, I've been also taking care of them. And so I think I am very prayerful that I can keep my heart patient and loving and try to be gentle with them, even after I'm tired, even after I've said the same thing over and over and over again. There's not somebody to hand the kid off to. I don't get a break in parenting unless it's nap time or unless there's sleep like now. And so that's probably the hardest thing for me when Dan is away. In addition to that, also just missing him, not having my person that I am able to talk to and share about how I'm struggling with things. And we still keep in touch. Typically we're able to touch base at least once a day, and he likes to send a video for the girls to watch in the mornings. And so that's really nice, and that's a blessing, but it's very different than being able to sit down at the end of the day and talk to him, share about the things that I'm going through, things that happened, and hear from him. And then the last thing I want to mention is it's hard just worrying about him sometimes, and I think this is something that I've grown in, and I've grown in trusting that the Lord will care for him if that's his will, that the Lord will be able to shelter him from any harm. But I think especially with them being on the bikes, them going to different villages, I think it's easy for me to think it's possible that something bad could happen. And I try to give myself to prayer in that area as frequently as possible and trust that God will take care of him, and because I've seen him do it in the past.
And so those are some of the challenges that come up when Dan is away, at least some of the ones that I'll mention in this video. Another question you might have is, how do we spend our time? Most of our days look relatively the same, cooking, cleaning, but with Dan being gone, Abby comes over here, another friend of ours, a Christian, Lucy, spends so much time over here playing with the girls. We cook together, eat together, do chores together, hang out during the day. That's a lot of our time. Outside of that, I've done a lot of sewing. A lot of sewing. And so we find ways to fill the time. Typically I might try to think of an adventure to do with the girls each day because they also suffer missing their papa, and so I try to think of a fun thing to do with them. But it's a lot of spending time with people and a lot of time playing with my girls and singing with them, praying with them, coming up with fun games, playing in water.
Your chin like Papa.
The last thing I really am thankful to be able to share in this video is that we are so well taken care of through the relationships that we've developed here, through the body of Christ that we are a part of here. We are so well taken care of. Frequently, the Christians will stop by just to check on how we're doing. Last time Dan was out of town, almost every day we were brought snacks and treats, and people offer to come and help with chores and bring food. And so I am thankful to feel like our Christ family here truly is our family, and they take such good care of us. And so there's no need to worry about us being here by ourselves because we are well taken care of. That's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you next time.